Hello, I'm back as promised to share my altered golden book, and I'm pretty pleased. The glue did dry in. Remember, I was a wee bit concerned about the glue not drying and showing up, but it's all fine, so that's good. I'm pleased at how all that looks so far. So today we're going to put in the signatures, and yes, let's see how we go with that. So you have the pages left from the golden book, and we're going to mix them in with another random set of papers to make the 3 signatures for the book, and then we'll sew them in. So you'll have a page and it'll have the 2 holes, remember, from the staples, 2 sets of holes. So we want to make them on the inside. And we also want to cut down the golden book's pages to about 19 by 29, because remember, we took the spine out, and so if we sat them in there like that, they would be too big. So this golden book had a white border round the pages, and I trimmed all the white borders off, and I did that in preparation for this video, and I forgot to leave one with the white border to do it on film, but I'm sure you can trim off the 3 sides just to make them the correct size to fit in, which should be 19 by 29. Okay, so now what I did was I folded in the side about 1 centimetre and crease that, and then we're just going to fold that in the way to make like a corsetina kind of valley fold, and that covers the white pieces until I get the right folds. That's the right page, and this goes in the middle one, and then that should fold over like that. Yeah, there we are. So you can see how we folded that in and then folded that, so we've got an extra little bit in the middle there. So by folding, let's undo it again. So we have our holes, we folded in one bit just to crease it, and then that bit became the little valley bit, and we just get that valley down the rest of the paper, and there's your little valley in there. And so when you open it up, you'll have that valley piece, and there's the holes, and we're just going to either glue that down, or like I did in my first altered book, I sewed a zigzag. Let's see if we can find one of the pages. There's one there. So there's the bit that was folded in, and I just gave it a zigzag stitch because I just thought, well, that reinforces that little fold, and it just adds a little bit of texture to those pages. So that's what I'm going to do with all the golden book pages. So I have also kept them in order of the book, because I'm going to put them back in the junk journal in order, so that I don't know, sort of, to me it's best to have them in order, and that means the story is in order for, I don't know, for just because that's the way I like it. So I've picked out some pages from various bits and bobs, mainly, let me see, this here because it's the Alice scrapbook Stamperia 12 by 12, some brown paper bags, and I've also got a couple of pages from this scrapbook 12 by 12 pad. So, and I also have, that's all the Alice ones, I have some book pages, that's the scrapbook paper. I just picked out a few of the sheets. I've got old map pages to put in, 3 of them. I have music paper to put in. Here's my brown paper bags. I've cut them down, and these are from the Alice book. So yes, so the pages should be no bigger than 19.5 by 30, and when I say 30 I mean opened up 30, so 19.5 by 30, so that it's 15 centimetres when it's folded. So all the book pages can't be any bigger than that, those measurements there, or they'll stick out the side of your book. So I've decided that I want these 3 to be the first pages in each of the signatures. So I'm just going to spread them out a little bit. So I've got this, and I want these to be the middle pages. In fact, if they're the middle, they should be left to the end, because I'm going to build up the signatures. Right. Okay, so let's just, we're going to make 3 signatures. So we're going to make 1, 2, 3. That's, is that the right way around? Yeah. So 3 signatures. So we want 3 bundles. The middle one isn't going to have any of the Alice book, because the Alice book has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. So there's going to be 3 pages in the first signature and 3 pages of the Alice book, Golden Book, in the third signature, and none in the middle. So the middle one should maybe get a little extra one of these papers. So we'll give that an extra one there, and there's 3 of them, 3 book pages folded over, and there's 2 of them, and we'll give the middle one a bigger one, and there's 1 of them, 1 each of the maps. We'll put a music one there, and these are the folded paper bags. A folded paper bag, and folded, we'll give the middle one 2 paper bags, and that. And then we will do, no, in fact we'll put these in the order I want them before we merge in the golden books. So I'm going to open up and put the order that I want them in. So we'll mix it up. We'll put that in there. We'll put that there. We'll put another one of these, and then this, and then maybe one of them. Right, so that's the first signature, all nicely mixed up, and we'll mix in 3 of these, and that leaves 1, 2, 3 for the third one. So we want to put these in order. So that's the first golden book page there. And then we'll put the next one more. So we'll put the next one in there. And then we'll put the next one in there. And I wanted to use one of these for the middle. And we'll put that one in the middle of this one. And I'm not keen on it being beside that one because that's a bit too samey. So we'll just move this one to here. There we are. So that's our signatures. The fold in that one has come away. See, I'm putting them together before I've stuck those folds down. But that's your first signature. So let's just run through. We've got a nice Alice golden book page, a music page, a brown paper bag, some scrapbook, another page, some scrapbook, a little map page, another golden page, a book page, and that's the middle. And then you'll have a similar on the other side. And it all sits quite well. Yep. So the next step will be to put, I'm getting into a kerfuffle there. So that's one signature done, and we'll do the same with the next two. But what I'll do is I'll do that off and I'll put the rest of the golden book pages in there. And what I'm going to do is get my sewing machine out and I'm going to sew down the golden book pages because it's causing a little bit of a problem putting these signatures together because the folds are coming apart because they haven't been stuck or sewn down. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back in a second. Right, I'm back and I have sewn a zigzag stitch down each of the golden book pages where we folded them over. That's actually making it much easier for me to show you how it all fits together. So I have running through the 3 signatures that I have. We have the stitched and trimmed golden book page, a music page. I'm just going to make sure they're all kind of in the centre as well because we're going to put the holes through for the binding. And so that's another golden book page. Move that one up a little bit, move that one up a little bit, this one down, this one up, this one in the middle, this one up a little bit, and that's us in the middle. So that's how it's going to be bound in that order, and it all still fits in the book. It doesn't stick out at the edges. So I'm just going to, what will I do next? I think we'll clip them together so that they don't move. So we'll put a clip there and a clip here. Let's move that. map down a bit. Does it need trimmed a wee bit? No. This is all for me about fiddling about with it as you go along. Maybe doesn't make for a very good video, but that's what you have to do with it. Oh, that went all squidgy there. I wonder if clips would be better than those paper clips. Put one at the bottom and one at the top, that's better. Do you know, I think I'd probably be better just holding it closed. They're not working for me, they're making it squinty. So I don't know that I will do that. Anyway, we'll go through the rest of them, make sure we're lined up. So I've got this page, that's in the middle. It doesn't matter if they're all not straight anyway, because it's supposed to be a bit random, isn't it? It's supposed to be a kind of junky mixture of things. So that's fine, that's the second signature, and we'll just make sure everything's in the only reason I'm making sure that they're in the middle here is because I want them to catch the stitching that we do to bind them together. And if you've got a small piece and it's not catching the stitches, then one's going to come loose. That's fine. Right. So let's do this tricky bit. So you need a template to know where to put the holes. We're going to do a 3-hole binding. So the best way I've found to do it is to get the piece of paper that fits into your spine. So you've got your spine, let's hold it like that. You've got your spine, and this fits in so that it doesn't get folded up when you close. So it's maybe just a smidgen smaller than the spine of 5 centimeters by 20.5 centimeters. So it's just going to be a little bit at the top and a little bit at the bottom and a little bit on either side smaller than the spine. So then, to find where we're going to put our holes, I just folded it in half and then folded it again. And that's on those folds, and then folded it in half and then folded it again. And that gives you the intersection of where, so at the joins of where the folds are, the vertical fold and the horizontal fold, you're going to put your 3 dots, and they're just drawn in, the 3 dots, with a pen, and that's where you're going to put your holes in your spine. So the holes in the spine, and then, so it's all 3, 6, 9 holes for the spine, but in each signature it's just the middle hole. So we find the middle and we put that. I've marked the top so that, because it might be slightly, although I've sometimes you maybe want the top one a wee bit further up or the bottom one. With this, because they're all even, it doesn't really matter about what's the top or what's the bottom. But I had already written top before I realised that didn't really matter in this case. Right, so we've got everything nice and straight and we've tucked it all in. We're going to put our template into the middle, and then we're going to poke the holes through that middle. And just watch your fingers, so it goes right through all the pages. and then we'll do the middle one. Right through all the pages, and then the bottom one through all the pages. Phew. Okay, now you know, I think I could maybe stick something in there just to hold that together. Let's just do that. That's a wee bit thick. I'll maybe make my hole a wee bit bigger, but it'll keep them together until I do the spine. So for the spine, in fact I might use a clip this time. Make sure we get it in the middle. I'm sure I'll have a better clip than that. Let's do that. That's a better one. So, are we in the middle? Yep. So now we're going to do all 9 holes. I wonder if I should get a clip for the bottom there. Have I got another clip handy? There's one here. And that will just keep it nice and straight. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to do the middle ones first. Don't ask me why. It just seems the right thing to do. And this one. So that's the first lot of holes done. And let's do these ones. 1, 2, and 3. And in there. Oh, let's turn it round. 1, 2. I think you've got to take a leap of faith pinching these holes into these, because you've spent quite a wee bit of time doing the folder, doing the cover, and then it would just be disaster. But they look okay from what I can see through the material. Two, 3, 1, 2, 3. Can't see for the material, but yes, 3 holes, 3 holes, 3 holes. So what we want to do is put our first one in. So we need to get our needle, and this is it's like cord, but it's not cord, it's like coated thread, I think you would say. And I'm going to do 1 so that I've got plenty and I don't need to think about it. 2, 3 times, and that should give me plenty to play around with. And we'll get this through. Right. I'm going to start in the middle hole. So we go through the middle, leave a good wee bit there. I'll just take that out just now because I can hold it. This is when I need an extra pair of hands. So we've come through the middle, and we want the first hole in the middle one here. So where is that? There, it's there. So that's the first one, and it doesn't matter if it's all a wee bit loose for the moment, we can tighten it up, and then you can either go up or down. I'm going to go up, so it's the, not my left hand. Can't see the hole, there it's there. In through that top hole and in through this, catching all the pages. I've made the hole in that side a wee bit too big, but anyway, it'll be fine. Right, now, so let's think, we're going to go now right down to the bottom hole. It might be easier just to take a few pages at a time. Yeah, that's easier than trying at this stage to get through all the pages. That's us. And then through the bottom one here. Let's try and tighten it up a wee bit at this stage. And then back through the middle. And back through the middle of the pages. And we want to be on the other side of that bit there. There. Whew. I think that's it. Yep. And you know what we've forgotten? We've forgotten to put our buttons in along the way. That's quite annoying, because I was going to do it the same with the buttons. Now, I wonder, should we take that out? Should we undo that and just redo it with the buttons? Or will we just put the buttons in the middle one? No, that would look silly. Right, let me just pause you just now. I'll take this apart and we'll do it right with the buttons. Right, why did nobody remind me to put the buttons on? Oh, okay, so we've undone it, and I'm just through, let me just recap there. I'm through the middle of the signature, and I'm through the middle, I can just pull that a little bit, and I'm through the middle of the spine. Right, and let's put a button on. So all we do is go through and through. So we're just doing it exactly the same way, except we're adding a button in. Right, yeah, that's right. So I've got my selection of buttons here. I was going to use the orange to yellowy buttons, but they just disappeared into the colour. It just didn't show up, so I went on a hunt for some black and white ones. So I think that one big one will be enough. So back in this section, because what I did was, it was just, if I did a little one, I did a middle-sized one, and if it was a big button, it was just a one. So I think we'll just play around with that and see how that goes. So we're back in through here. And you can just play around with where they sit. Okay, and then we're going through. It's not difficult. I'm probably making it look difficult. It's just that it's a bit of a footer. Right. Through there. Then down to the bottom one. Down to the bottom one. And through the spine of the bottom one. And this time we'll put in a white button, one white one, and one little black one. So that's one white and one black there. And through the middle. Through the middle, oh, and back through the middle here. And down to the other side of that. Give it a little tug, not too much. Right, we'll just make sure we're, oh no, it's a little bit loose. Is that us? Yeah, that's us now. You can slide these up and down once it's all tied off, because if you put a button in, like, shall I show you here? If you put a button in the next one, if you couldn't put a big one besides the other big one, you've got to put them in between. You see what I mean? So you've got to kind of slide the buttons so that they all fit. Okay, so let's get this tied off with a couple of knots. Right, so that's our first one in. Phew. There we are, that's the first one, and nothing's hanging over, it's all fine, and that all looks like it's caught. All the pages are in. Yep, all the pages are in. Good. It's a nice mix. Good. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'll do the other two, put them in, because you've already watched me doing it twice, one without the buttons and one with the buttons. So I'm going to go and do the other two and then I'll be back. I'm leaving this just now because I might want to put something dangling, because I've got a key. I've got a key and a clock and a little bottle, and I might tie on a couple of things at the end. We'll see. Right, I shall go on and put the next signature, which is the one without any golden books in here, and I'll be back. Okay, I hope you're still with me and I haven't faffed about too much with this. Like I say, I'm a beginner. This is only the second one I've done, but they're all in. The buttons are there. They just need a little bit of playing around with. But I'm quite pleased with the way the buttons are. They're a little bit different from the one in the first book, so that's quite good. That looks pretty good. And I decided not to leave the bit in the middle dangling for something, because I thought, well, if it's sitting in my bookshelf and I've got bits dangling, that would just annoy me. So I'll just use these little trinkets and charms and whatnot that I've got to decorate one of the pages when we come to doing that. So this is all the signatures in. Yep, they're all in quite tight. Yeah, it seems to be. So I've got my original golden book pages, a nice mix of older book pages, older vintage maps, some scrapbooking paper, spaces for journaling. You can journal there, journal on the other side of the music page, and plenty ups and downs, and nice, there's an opening there that can be used as a pocket in the brown bag, and there's a middle, and the last one that's the middle of the last one, and that's the end of the golden book. Okay, so, and a nice zigzag stitch up all the golden book pages. So that's us for that, and what I'm going to use it for is, I'll just grab them. I've been altering these Alice postcards, doing a little bit of mixed media on them, and my plan is to perhaps put them in this brown bag a pocket. Maybe make some pockets, decorate some things up, maybe stick them in, maybe just paper clip them in. I don't know yet. That's for another day. So I'm just going to leave it there, and I hope this has been helpful. Like I say, maybe it's good to watch somebody doing it as a beginner. If it's the first time that you've done it, then it maybe helps that you saw me forgetting my buttons and then having to undo it. It's easy to undo, but I would say the secret is just to take your time, and rather than try and put your needle through all the pages at once, especially I think when it comes to the third one and you've got all this to contend with and you're trying to get it through the same hole, just take your time through each page one at a time and you'll get there. There's no rush. Yeah, and I look forward to filling it up in a future video, maybe do a couple of pages together. And yeah, so thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.